Sorry. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nar from the Nar Report. Back today with another episode. This is episode 40 of the Nar Report. And I just want to say is thank y'all for all the love and support on all of my social media platforms here on the YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Subscribers and followers are growing every day. So I appreciate all the work. If it wasn't for y'all, I won't be doing the Nar Report today. So I'm in it because of y'all. All right. And it was my choice to do the Nar Report because I love sports, talking about it too. So that's why we're here, baby. And in today's episode, this is episode 41. We will be recapping week 1 of the NFL season and giving y'all my week 2 NFL predictions. I'm going to give y'all my week 2 NFL predictions. And first, we're going to start off with a week 1 recap. And if you're new to the YouTube, make sure y'all sub to the YouTube. If you like sports content, click that sub button, sub to the YouTube. All right. Like, comment, and subscribe on all of my videos. All right. And then social media, TikTok and Instagram, they're the same thing at _NAR_report. Okay. And click that bell to make sure y'all get all the notifications on when I go live and when I post stuff on YouTube as well. All right. Let's get into it. Starting off with the week 1 opener between the Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles win 24-20 in Philly. Super Bowl night for the Eagles. Let's talk about it. Good game overall. The Cowboys and Eagles, historic rivalry, NFC East, division showdown. Good game. A lot of people expected a blowout, but I knew this game was going to be close. All right, because these two teams know each other very well. And both quarterbacks played a great game. Dak Prescott had a great game. 21 for 34 for completion. Threw for 188 yards and 0 touchdowns. But that's another conversation for another time. Jalen Hurts played a great game. 19 for 23 for completion. Threw for 152 yards and then 2 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts beat the Eagles on the ground. But overall, though, what I liked from this game was the Dallas defense. All right. The Dallas Cowboys had a solid defense, even though they traded Micah Parsons. The defensive line was great, too. They were getting after Jalen Hurts, bringing the pressure to him. I think this Dallas defense is going to be solid without Micah Parsons. The Eagles overall, Jalen Hurts beat them on the ground. Saquon, he didn't have a good game rushing-wise, but receiving-wise, he did. The receivers wasn't there because it was good coverage by the Cowboys corners. So that's why Jalen Hurts had to run the ball a lot. But otherwise, though, the Eagles got the job done in Philly against the Cowboys 24-20. And another thing, let's talk about Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott. If you didn't know, the news broke earlier today. Jalen Carter will be fined over $57 million for spitting on Dak Prescott, and he will serve a 1-game suspension, which was well-deserved. It's the right thing to do because spitting on a quarterback before the game even started, we were 6 minutes into the game. Not 6 minutes, 6 seconds into the game. The game hasn't even started yet. And then you come over there on the Cowboys huddle and spit on Dak Prescott. If you look at it this way, Dak Prescott did not even spit on him. He spit it on the ground. And then Jalen Carter thought he was trying to spit at him, so that's where that spit came from. So that's it for that. I think it was well-deserved. Jalen Carter deserved to be suspended and fined. So that was the right thing, right move by the NFL. And that's it for Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles win 24-20. Then we go to Friday night in Brazil with the Chargers and Chiefs. Chargers win 27-21 in Brazil. What a game. AFC West showdown. Let's talk about it. Justin freaking Herbert. That dude was amazing. 24 for 39 for completion. Threw for 258 yards. 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. Justin Herbert played a great game. Justin Herbert is a top 10 quarterback in the league. The offense was great. Defense was great. Excuse me. Close game overall, but the Chargers got it done in Brazil. I had a feeling the Chargers were going to win, but I picked the Chiefs because you can never count out Patrick Mahomes. All right? So going to the Chiefs sideline, Mahomes, he had a great game. 24 for 39 for completion, threw for 258 yards, 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. Herbert just outplayed Mahomes. That was the whole story of the game, Mahomes got outplayed by Herbert. The Chargers were ready to play. They were charged up, ready to go, came into Brazil and took care of business against the Chiefs. And it was a divisional game too, so you know how divisional games go. And that's it though for the Chiefs and Chargers. Chargers win 27-21. Then we go to the Sunday games. We start off in Atlanta with my Atlanta Falcons losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a heartbreaking fashion, 23-20. Let's talk about it. I was at the game. If y'all didn't know, most of y'all know already. I went to this game. I seen it live. And man, the ending was disappointing. Younghoe Koo with the game on the line to send us to overtime. A 44-yard field goal. And you missed it wide to the right. That was a very makeable kick. And he was doing good all game too with his kicks. But when it mattered the most, he just blew it. And Koo usually make those kicks. So my reaction to that kick was, how did you miss that? Like, there's no way you should have missed that kick. But overall, what I saw from my team was Michael Penix played a great game. 27 for 42 for completion, threw for 298 yards, 1 touchdown, and he had 1 rushing touchdown as well too late in the fourth quarter to give Atlanta the lead 20-17. Bijan Robinson had a great game. 12 carries, ran for 24 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. Tyler Algier had a great game, 10 carries for 24 yards. Receivers, Drake London, he wasn't there at all. We wasn't getting him involved a lot. Kyle Pitts had a great game. Ray McLeod had a great game. We was missing Darnell Mooney, but the receiver core still looked pretty good, though. But one thing I was concerned about the game was the offensive line. Too many false starts, too many penalties. I think that will not cost us the game, but I feel like those kind of messed up our momentum chances of the game of going to score. But overall, though, we finally got a franchise quarterback. Michael Penix played great. He is the future of the Atlanta Falcons. And here's the one thing I like about Michael Penix is in crunch time, when we need a field goal or a touchdown in those situations, he will deliver. All right. So that's one thing I like about Michael Penix and having him on my team. But overall, though, Koo should have made the kick. I'm not blaming this all on Koo. I'm blaming it on the play calling as well, too, because you do not run a wide receiver screen on 3rd and 11. Okay, that's more of a second or first down play. But play calling threw us off. Younghoe Koo missed field goal. I feel like those were the 2 reasons why we lost the game. Overall, I think it was play calling. First quarter, first half, Atlanta was rocking. All right, the offense was looking great. The defense was good. 2 3-and-outs in the first quarter. I feel like Atlanta should have scored more than 7 points in the first quarter. They should at least had 10. But otherwise, though, let's get to the Tampa Bay side. Baker Mayfield played a great game. 17 for 32 for completion, threw for 167 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 of them was from Emeka Egbuka. That dude was a dog, man. 2 touchdowns, and those throws by Baker Mayfield to Emeka were beautiful. I can't even lie. From a Falcons fan, those were 2 good throws. All right. So the Buccaneers, they played great. The offense was pretty good. Defense is still questionable, though. But otherwise, though, it was a close game. It was competitive, down to the wire. That's what the Falcons and Buccaneers NFC South rivalry is all about. Close games, down to the wire. This game right here, every time the Bucs and Falcons play against each other, it pretty much tells us who is most likely going to win the NFC South, because it comes down between those 2 teams. But overall, though, as a Falcons fan, I'm not sweating it. I'm not panicking. There's still a lot of football left to play. I do believe we'll bounce back next week on Sunday night in Minnesota. And that's it. Bucs win 23-20 against Atlanta. Then we go to New Orleans with the Cardinals beating the Saints 20-13. Kyler Murray, great game. Passing yards, 21 for 29 for completion, threw for 163 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The offense was great. The defense was good. Close competitive game with the Saints. I expected a close game as well, too, even though the Saints are one of the worst teams in the league. But I expected the Cardinals to win. Marvin Harrison Jr., 5 receptions, 71 yards, and 1 touchdown. Shout out to Marvin Harrison. Their running backs, James Conner, he had a great game, 12 carries for 39 yards. The Cardinals look good. Okay, they look good. I got this thing going 7-10. They can prove me wrong and win 9. All right, because the Cardinals got a really good team over there, not that good enough to make the playoffs, but I won't be shocked if they somehow win the NFC West. All right. But for the Saints, though, Spencer Rattler did not have a great game, 27 for 46 for completion, threw for 214 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. I'm going to just go ahead and say this right now. The Saints are going to be the worst team in the National Football League. Okay? Number one, they do not have a quarterback. Their players are getting older. This is a veteran team, and they're not getting any much younger. All right? So that's what I got to say on Arizona and New Orleans. What a game by Arizona. Shout out to them getting the win over the Saints, 20-13. All right. And watch out for the Cardinals, though. I feel like they could be a sneaky team in the NFC. Next up, we go to Indianapolis with the Dolphins and the Colts. Colts win 33-8 in Indy. Let's talk about it. Dolphins. What the heck was that? 8 points? Really? Tua did not have a great game. The offensive line is horrible. I'm just going to say this right now. Tyreek Hill, request a trade. All right. Because you're not going to win in Miami. All right. And Mike McDaniels is on the hot seat. All right. Let's go over the stats. Tua Tagovailoa, 14 for 23 for completion, threw for 114 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Daniel Jones looked amazing out there. 22 for 29 for completion, threw for 272 yards, 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions, and 1 sack taken. This man looked like primetime Peyton Manning out there. I picked the Dolphins to win this game, but geez, I did not expect the Colts to do what they did. But let's go over the stats for the team-wise. Jonathan Taylor, 18 carries, ran for 71 yards. Michael Pittman Jr., 6 receptions, 80 yards, 101 touchdown. Offense was great for the Colts. The defense played exceptionally well. Getting the pressure after Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know, man. If the Colts beat the Broncos next week, they might be in the conversation to win the AFC South. And that's it. Colts win 33-8 against the Dolphins. Then we go to New England with the Raiders beating the Patriots 20-13 in Foxborough. What a game by Las Vegas. They proved me wrong. I picked New England to win this game, but Raiders got the job done. Pete Carroll and Geno Smith worked out together. They got the connection from Seattle. So I do expect the Raiders to be pretty good this year. Let's go over stats for Geno Smith. Geno Smith, 24 for 34 for completion, threw for 362 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Ashton Jennings, shout out to Ashton Jennings getting his first touchdown in the NFL. 19 carries, ran for 38 yards and 1 touchdown. Overall, the Raiders played great, man. I like the offense. The defense is solid. I think the Raiders going to win some games, some close competitive games this year from what I've seen. And the Patriots, though, Drake May had a solid game, 30 for 46 for completion, threw for 287 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. New England, they played okay, but it wasn't enough to beat the Las Vegas Raiders at home. And that's it. Raiders win 20-13 against the Patriots. Then we go to New York with a shootout, amazing shootout. What a game this was. Steelers win 34-32 in MetLife Stadium. Let's talk about it. Aaron Rodgers' revenge game went well. Aaron Rodgers got the last lap. Great game for Aaron Rodgers. 22 for 30 for completion. Threw for 244 yards, 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. The defense for both teams didn't play well, but it was more of an offensive game. I didn't expect the shootout, but I was expecting more of a 20-17 game. But the Jets almost won, though. Chris Boswell with a game-winning field goal from 60 yards to get the Steelers to win. From what I've seen from the Jets, Justin Fields played great. Okay, Fields played great. 16 for 22 for completion, threw for 218 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. I think Justin Fields is going to be the future quarterback for the New York Jets. I feel like the Jets could win some games this year. All right. But I don't think it's going to be enough to get them into the playoffs. And from what I've seen from Pittsburgh, I feel like they could be in contention to win the AFC North this year. And that's it. Steelers win 34-32 against the Jets. Then we go to Washington with the Commanders beating the Giants in the NFC East division rival game 21-6. Let's talk about it. Russell Wilson did not have a great game. And let me just go ahead and mention this right now. The New York Giants got to get their offensive line together. Okay? Because that offensive line over there is not it. All right. Looking at stats, 17 for 37 for completion, threw for 168 yards, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. No touchdowns by the Giants. The offense didn't play great. The defense wasn't there. But it's the first game of the season, though, so we're just not going to judge them off of it. But Washington, great game, though. Jaden Daniels played great, 19 for 30 for completion, threw for 233 yards, 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. For those of y'all that know, and if you don't know, I got the Washington Commanders winning the NFC East this year. I feel like this team is going to compete with the Eagles for the division. All right, they got a solid defense, a great offense. So watch out for the Washington Commanders. I feel like this team could make it back to the NFC Championship game. And that's it. Commanders win 21-6 against the Giants. Then we head down south to Jacksonville, Florida, with the Jacksonville Jaguars defeating the Carolina Panthers 26-10 at home. Let's talk about it. Trevor Lawrence played a great game, 19 for 31 for completion, threw for 178 yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception. Travis Hunter, he played great. 6 receptions for 33 yards and 0 touchdowns. I feel like Travis Hunter is going to be a problem this year. All right. On both sides of the ball, receiver and corner. And from what I've seen for the Jaguars, Houston, you may have a problem, though, because the Jaguars are coming for you for the division this year. And I said this in the offseason. I feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to give the Houston Texans a run for their money. Now let's go from the Panthers standpoint. Bryce Young did not play the great game. 18 for 35 for completion, threw for 154 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. The defense didn't play well. The offense didn't play well. There was a weather delay, so I feel like the weather delay kind of slowed them down a little. But overall, though, I think the Panthers are going to bounce back, though. And that's it. Jags win 26-10 against Carolina. Then we go to Cleveland in an AFC North showdown. Bengals win 17-16. 17-16 Bengals win in Cleveland in the AFC North showdown. Let's talk about it. Bengals played a great game in the first quarter, but in the second quarter they played great. But in the second half, the offense wasn't there at all because of the Browns' defense. The defense played well for the Cleveland Browns, held in the Bengals to 17 points. Joe Burrow played a great game, 14 for 23 from completion, threw for 113 yards, 1 touchdown and 0 interceptions. Jamar Chase, he had a great game. 2 receptions for 26 yards and 0 touchdowns. Noah Fant had a touchdown, 1 touchdown, 4 receptions for 26 yards. And Chase Brown had a rushing touchdown as well, too. And the Bengals defense got better. All right. So the Bengals defense could play how they did in Cleveland. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I got the Bengals winning the AFC North this year, and I hope they win the North so I can prove everybody wrong. I was being called crazy because I got this team winning the division. Oh, they ain't got no defense. They always start off slow. Well, the Bengals shut all that up. Okay, I'm glad they shut all that up. And Joe Burrow is going to have an MVP season. I think the defense is going to be better. The offense is going to be consistent. They got a new defensive coordinator over there, so watch out for the Cincinnati Bengals. This is my sleeper team to make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC. For the Browns, though, Joe Flacco played great, 31 for 45 for completion, threw for 290 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. But the Browns kicker, how do you miss that kick? Not only Falcons fans didn't have to go through this, Browns fans had to go through this too, because if you look at it in the fourth quarter, if the Browns make that kick, they win the game. But that's it, though. The Browns defense looked great. The offense looked pretty good, but that missed kick lost them the game. And that's it. Bengals win 17-16 in Cleveland. Then we go to Seattle with the 49ers coming back on Seattle to win the game 17-13. Nick Bosa with a fumble recovery for the 49ers to win the game. Let's talk about it. Brock Purdy played well, 26 for 35 for completion, threw for 277 yards, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. McCaffrey was back. Great game, 22 carries, 69 yards, 0 touchdowns. Let's see who scored a touchdown. George Kittle, he scored a touchdown. And Jake Tunk scored a touchdown for the 49ers as well, too. Jake Moody was cut earlier by the 49ers because he's not a good kicker. I picked Seattle to win this game, but San Francisco proved me wrong. At the end, Sam Darnold took the Seahawks down the field to score, but Nick Bosa came in with the clutch play, fumble recovery, Niners win the game. I'm still not high on San Francisco because of the injuries, but I feel like they will win some games this year. I feel like they will win 9 to 10 games and somehow be in playoff contention in the NFC. Now let's go to Seattle side. Sam Darnold's Seahawks debut went well. 16 for 23 for completion, threw for 150 yards and 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. But Sam Darnold's going to bounce back, though. Okay, though. Sam Darnold just got over there, though. So I'm not judging him by that performance. I feel like he's going to bounce back in week 2. And that's it for that game. Now we go over to Denver with the Broncos beating the Titans 20-12 in Denver in a close competitive game. Cam Ward's rookie debut in the NFL didn't go too well because the Broncos got a top 5 defense, 12 for 28 for completion, threw for 112 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The offense for the Titans wasn't good at all, but the defense was good, though. The Titans defense played well against the Broncos offense. Bo Nix had a solid game, 25 for 40 for completion, threw for 176 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. But let me say this about the Broncos real quick. I do feel like the Broncos are going to challenge the Chiefs for the AFC West this year, but they got to get their offense together. Right now, the offense is overrated, but the defense is top 5. All right, though. I feel like their defense is going to win them a lot of games, but they got to fix their offense. And that's it. Broncos win 20-12 against the Titans. Then we go to Green Bay in the NFC North showdown. The Packers beat the Lions 27-13 at Lambeau Field. This game was literally all Packers. The Lions didn't show up at all. Offense wasn't good. The defense wasn't great at all. Jared Goff had a solid game, 31 for 39 for completion, threw for 225 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Overall, though, the Lions really didn't score a touchdown until late in the game. Green Bay's defense was all over them. All right. Their receivers couldn't catch a ball. They didn't have a good running game because that Packers defense is elite. Okay. I feel like Micah Parsons made that defense better. All right. And watch out for the Green Bay Packers, though. This team could win the division this year. Still got the Lions, though, but I'm not sleeping on the Packers. Jordan Love had a great game, 16 for 22 for completion, threw for 188 yards, 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions and 0 sacks. Jordan Love outplayed Jared Goff in the first game. They meet each other again in Detroit. I think the Lions are going to bounce back and win that game. But the Lions, this was the first game after losing both coordinators, so I think they're going to figure things out. and be ready for the rest of the season. And that's it. Packers win 27-13. Then we go to LA with the Rams beating the Texans 14-9 in a low-scoring game. First of all, from the Texans side, the offensive line is not good. Okay, the Texans need to fix their offensive line because as of right now, the Texans are in some trouble in the first 3 games of their season. They lost to the Rams, they played the Bucs Monday night, and they got the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. The Texans could start off 0-3, and this is the team that is favored to win the AFC South. If the Texans start off 0-3, they could be in some trouble. All right. And if they don't fix their offensive line. But the Texans, no touchdown was scored, just 3 field goals. The Texans did not play the great game. Offense wasn't there. The defense played okay, but the offensive line got to get it together. Matthew Stafford, despite the back injury, he played well. 21 for 29 for completion, threw for 245 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Kyron Williams had a touchdown, 18 carries, 66 yards, 1 touchdown. Devontae Adams in his Rams debut played well, 4 receptions for 51 yards. Puka Nacua, 10 receptions, 130 yards, 11 targets. This Rams offense is going to be scary this year, and the Rams got a young defense. Okay, I feel like the Rams are my second team to come out the NFC this year. The way they built over there, Matthew Stafford got some weapons. They got a good offensive line. The defense is young and hungry. So watch out for the Rams, though. They're my second team to come out the NFC. And that's it. Rams win 14-9. Then we go to Sunday Night Football, potentially game of the year between the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Bills went 41-40 in Buffalo in a shootout. Let's talk about it. I expected a shootout. These are 2 powerhouse teams in the AFC. 2 big teams that are the biggest threats to the Kansas City Chiefs. But man, what a game this was. This game went down to the wire. Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen is always going to be absolute cinema. Let's get into it. Starting off with the Ravens. How? 40-25. Under 4 minutes left to go. I thought the Ravens had the game. When the Bills scored a touchdown and made it 8, all the Ravens had to do was get like a couple first downs, then the game was over. But Derrick Henry fumbles the football. Bills get a chance, scores a touchdown, misses the 2-point conversion. Ravens go through it out. Bills get the ball down in field goal range, kick the game-winning field goal, and won it. Lamar Jackson, he had a great game, 14 for 19 for completion, threw for 209 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Derrick Henry, King Henry doing what he does best. 18 carries, ran for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Bills played a great game. Josh Allen was great, 33 for 46 for completion, threw for 394 yards. That's almost 400 yards. 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. James Cook played a great game. 13 carries, ran for 44 yards and 1 touchdown. Josh Allen on the ground, 14 carries, ran for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both offenses was great. The defense wasn't there at all for both teams. This was more of an offensive game because these are 2 powerhouse teams, okay? Both teams have a powerhouse offense. The defense is solid for both teams. It's going to be one of these 2 teams to take down Mahomes and the Chiefs. But overall, though, I like what I've seen from the Ravens. The offense looked good. The defense was great. From the Bills side, Josh Allen played great. The offense was amazing. The defense was great. Both teams played exceptionally well in the shootout. So I hope these two teams face each other again in the playoffs. And that's it. Bills win 41-40. And then last but not least, we go to Monday Night Football last night. The Minnesota Vikings defeated the Chicago Bears 27-24 with a comeback. J.J. McCarthy. Let's talk about it. Chicago Bears. How? 17-6. 17-6. After the pick six, I thought the Bears were going to win the game. But J.J. McCarthy said, hey, hold my beer. 2 touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, and 1 rushing touchdown at the end to seal the deal for the Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy in his debut played great. 13 for 20 for completion, threw for 143 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Justin Jefferson, solid game, 4 receptions, 44 yards, and 1 touchdown. Jordan Addison didn't play, but the Vikings still had a great offense, though, and they got a pretty good defense, too. The first half, the Vikings' offensive line was horrible, but in the second half, they turned up. All right. I picked the Bears to win this game, but I probably slept on J.J. McCarthy. If McCarthy could play how he did, the Vikings could win 10 games. All right. So watch out for the Vikings as well, too, in the playoff hunt. Caleb Williams, he played a great game. 21 for 35 for completion, threw for 210 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. The Bears, first half, they played well, but in the second half, I don't know what happened. They just choked. The Bears did what the Bears do best. And I'm not surprised because that's what the Bears do. I've seen a lot of Bears games which they should have won, but they just give it away. But Caleb Williams played his heart out. The defense, first half was amazing. Third quarter was great with the pick six. But in the fourth quarter, when it mattered the most, they could have closed the game. J.J. McCarthy was too amazing. He was too good in the fourth quarter. But overall, though, I feel like the Bears played a great game. The Vikings played a great game. At first, the game was boring, but in the fourth quarter, it caught everybody's attention. I picked the Bears to win this game, but the Vikings proved me wrong. Maybe J.J. McCarthy might make some noise this year. Who knows? But that's it, though. Vikings win 27-24 in Chicago. Now, to end the show off, I'm going to give y'all my Week 2 NFL predictions. Week 2 of the NFL season kicks off Thursday night in Green Bay with the Washington Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers. I think this is going to be a great game, too. I think this is going to be a great game. Two teams that could make it to the NFC Championship game. Two teams that could potentially meet each other in the playoffs. Thursday night in Lambeau Field. Give me the Packers to win this game. I feel like this defense is going to be too much for Jaden Daniels in that offense. Then we go to Sunday with the Jaguars and Bengals. I got the Bengals winning this game, but I won't be shocked if the Jaguars pull it off. The Bengals are at home. I think they're going to get the job done. I think Joe Burrow is going to have a great game. I think Jamar Chase is going to have a bounce-back game. I think the defense is going to be exceptionally well. So give me the Bengals over the Jags, but I do think the Jags are going to have a great game as well, too. Bears Lions, Ben Johnson's revenge game, returning to Detroit as a Chicago Bears head coach. I think this is going to be a great game, though. If the Bears win, I will not be shocked. Both teams are looking forward to bounce back after a rough Week 1 loss. But give me the Lions at home. Then we go to New Orleans. The 49ers are taking on the Saints. I got the 49ers despite the injuries. George Kittle will miss some time, but I'm still taking the 49ers because the Saints suck. All right, and the Saints don't have a quarterback. Seahawks versus Steelers. DK Metcalf's revenge game. I feel like DK is going to go off. I think he's going to have like 4 touchdowns, 3 to 4 touchdowns, almost 200 yards. He's going to destroy his former team. This is going to be a great game in Pittsburgh, but give me the Steelers. Next up, we got the Browns taking on the Ravens. I got the Baltimore Ravens bouncing back against the Browns at home. We got the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys. Patriots and Dolphins. I got the Dolphins. I think they're going to bounce back at home against New England. Bills, Jets. Give me the Bills. I think it's going to be a close game. The Jets are going to find a way to keep it competitive. Rams, Titans. Give me the Rams. Broncos, Colts, hear me out. If the Colts win, I will not be shocked. But give me the Broncos. I feel like Bo Nix will have a bounce-back game, and the offense will be better. Panthers, Cardinals, I got the Panthers. I think they will bounce back against Arizona. They're playing in the Dome, in AZ. Give me the Panthers. And plus, the Panthers on the Cardinals. All right? And then we go to game of the week. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. Eagles with both teams with having a lot of rest, play on Thursday and Friday of the start of the NFL season. KC is back at home. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game because they'll be looking forward to revenge. This is a Super Bowl rematch. This might be game of the year. Give me the Chiefs over the Eagles. Sunday Night Football, we got my Atlanta Falcons taking on the Minnesota Vikings. To win this game, play calling has to be better. We got to slow down Justin Jefferson, bring pressure to J.J. McCarthy. All right. Penix has to play well. The offensive line has to play well too because the Vikings got a very good defense. All right. So hopefully, Falcons, I hope y'all watched the game last night because we got to get ready for Sunday night. All right. But you already know I'm taking my Atlanta Falcons to beat the Minnesota Vikings in Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football is going to be a close game. Monday Night Football, we got a doubleheader between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Houston Texans. I got the Buccaneers beating the Texans. The Texans' offensive line is not good at all, and the Bucs got a very good defensive line. And last but not least, Chargers and Raiders. Question, why is this game at 10 o'clock at night? But I don't know if I'm going to stay up and watch that game, but I got the Chargers beating the Raiders in Las Vegas. Both teams 1-0, AFC West showdown. I think the Chargers are going to win this game, but don't be surprised if the Raiders win. And that's it for my week 2 predictions. I'm going to go over my predictions again. Commanders, Packers, I got the Packers. Jags, Bengals, I got the Bengals. Bears, Lions, I got the Lions. 49ers, Saints, I got the 49ers. Steelers, Seahawks, I got the Steelers. Panthers, Cardinals, I got the Panthers. Eagles, Chiefs, I got the Chiefs. Ravens, Browns, I got the Ravens. Cowboys, Giants, I got the Cowboys. Patriots, Dolphins, I got Miami. Buffalo, New York, I got Buffalo. Rams, Titans, I got the Rams. Broncos, Colts, I got the Broncos. Falcons, Vikings, Falcons. And then Chargers over Raiders to finish week 2. And that's it for the show, episode 41. Thank you for everybody that joined. I appreciate all the love and support. Like I said earlier in the video, if you are new to the YouTube, make sure you sub to the YouTube. Click that bell to make sure y'all get all the notifications on when I go live and when I go post. And since football season is back, I will be live every night on Tuesday. All right. So keep that in mind. And make sure y'all follow the social media platforms on Instagram and TikTok at _NAR_report. And that's it. And that concludes today's show. Have a good rest of your day. Nard out. I'll see you next Tuesday.